I'm Mitch. I run the Parks Department for the town of Inlet. I'm also the Assistant to the Director of Tourism. I've grown up in the park. The last 50 years I've spent right here in the Inlet area, and for more than 100 years people have come here to Inlet for an outdoor experience. And ecotourism is really an extension of going into nature and communing with nature. People come here to mountain bike, to hike, to primitive camp, to paddle our waters. And for 120 years or so, those people have come here. In the early days they were called sports, which is the vernacular of what an ecotourist is today. Somebody who lives in an urban space, they want to travel to us and use us as a jump off point. That buffer zone where they can get a good meal, nice place to sleep, some great local shops that can help them with their outfitting needs. And we've been doing this from the days of the Adirondack guide to the modern guides. Our guides now are guides who will take you on a mountain bike tour or take you on a paddling tour, a horseback riding tour, and we also have a seaplane base here, one of the only two in the park, so you can really get into nature. And getting in a seaplane is really the only way to understand how big the park space is, how much green space there is, and how little private property there is. People really have had mixed notions about park usage. There are groups that have been lining up for a long time to have discussions about what they feel is important here in the park. We've gotten beyond all of those discussion points with all of our special interest groups here in Inlet very early on, and made a kind of a solid choice that we were all going to work together. I think a lot more communities in the park are coming to that notion to understand that ecotourism is a really valuable resource. We're a town of 380 people, and we've been about that number for a long time, and everybody has a job, everybody works, and our town is very, very busy. 4 seasons. We've bought into the ideology that there are 4 seasons, and those 4 seasons can all be an economic boon to us. We allow many trails for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing and snowmobiling in the wintertime, and very early on we bought into the notion that we had to have the premier places for those efforts if we were going to attract those ecotourism partners to us. And it's really worked out very well for us. Between some special events that we run that operate in the zones for those ecotourists, like our 1 Square Mile of Hope effort, where we broke a record for the most canoes and kayaks on a body of water. We brought together all of our paddling people to our National Trails Day experiences, where we get people out into those trail spaces and teach them what it's like to maintain and do stewardship. To our programs for road racing and canoe racing and mountain bike racing. The Blackfly Challenge certainly is one of the most important events here in the entire park, let alone Inlet. I think ecotourism to a lot of other communities in the park, it brings up a very odd point in them. They believe in their heart of hearts that those people will come from their city location for a day trip with their bag packed full of the meal that they want. They're purchasing their gas outside the park, and they're using our park and not really giving anything back. And I have to say that that's not the case. It's not a truth for sure for Inlet. People come and stay with us for a week at a time. Our rooms are booked. We are solidly at no vacancy. Our businesses are very happy with the amount of people who come in for a week or day trip in, because everybody that comes in, even if they only give a small percentage, the total goodness of everybody geared together makes for a really strong economy. No doubt about that. It's a big park, biggest park in the lower 48, and right here in Inlet we've got the largest primitive camping area in the lower 48. You could take a lifetime to see it all, and if you're a good steward yourself, and you are understanding nature, then go and visit those spaces and enjoy every moment.